Hey guys, welcome back to Seller Sessions. Today I bring back Nick Young. How you doing, Nick? You good?
Hey, good. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. Do you want to give a little bit of background on yourself? I know you've been on a couple of times, but just a little refresher for the
Sure.
audience.
Sure. So my business partner, Fernando, has been on the podcast as well. So I am an eight-figure seller. I've been selling on Amazon for 5 years, actually almost exactly 5 years. And yeah, Fernando and I, we started off selling our first products in 2014. In our first year, we got really lucky, hit 2.5 million in revenue, and we've since scaled. So now we have about 250 to 300 products that we're selling. We're constantly launching products. And this year we're on track to do about 30 million. And we have an incredible team to support that. We have about 70 people total. The funny fact is that only 2 are based in the US and the rest are based overseas, mostly in the Philippines. So we've really been able to build a remote workforce to help support and manage that business.
Sounds great. So let's talk about what you're up to now. I mean, we've touched on stuff before about you're doing a lot of launches focused in around PPC. You've expanded upon that now, haven't you? So since the last spoke to you, I think you was at the 10 or 12, 40 million mark. Now you're heading towards 30. I think your product line's probably increased by about 35, 40%. So what's changed for you now in the last 18 months, a year or so?
Yeah, I would say our general approach when it comes to product development is very much the same. I mean, we are really focused on expanding and finding products that work. So we're testing products constantly and expanding aggressively so we dominate those categories. However, what's changed is that, now just doing straight PPC is not enough. That's something that we used to do. We used to only rely on Amazon's traffic. And I think now with the entrance of a lot more competitors, it's really important. And also with Amazon making it way more difficult to get reviews and discounted purchases, not really giving much credence to giveaways. It's really, really important that you create a system for full price rebates, whether that's through Rebate Key or whether that's through ManyChat. I believe it's best to have a good mixture of both. So I think that's something that we've been really evolving our strategy towards, which is really building out funnels in 2 different ways. One that's pre-launch, so one that's focused on launching and building a list and having that list be great for doing full price purchases. And then for post-launch, finding a way to effectively collect customer information, incentivize them to collect it, and also leading them into a post-purchase review funnel off of Amazon towards the listing. So those are the things that we've really been focusing on.
Do you mind if we can unpack those? So let's
Sure.
talk about the pre-launch. We'll go through that a little bit more of the details and then go into post. Is that all right?
Yeah, sure. Not a problem. So in terms of pre-launch, I mean, I think it's pretty standard. This is a lot of stuff that people, you can the API, but essentially the process is utilizing ManyChat as a funnel to reach target audiences for your product. So it's really easy to generate an ad, and that ad sends them to the messenger funnel. And the messenger funnel is incredible because it's just an automated, basic email feedback drip campaign that leads people to buy the product. And so we do only full reimbursements. We use a tool that we actually own and develop called Pixelfy, and we have an optimized super URL. So we're constantly using this super URL that's rotating across different keywords. And if we decide that we want to change which keywords we want to target, we can always change that on the back end without changing the URL structure. Yeah. And those are the things that we kind of do. So we try to hit 3 to 4 keywords out the gate, usually a good mix of 2 primary keywords, which are higher volume keywords, and then 2 medium to longer tail keywords that we know we can win. And then we focus on those keywords and then see the results and then kind of work from there and start modifying.
And how do you structure your rotation of those search terms? Do you just go all in at the very beginning and then just keep giving Amazon a different look? Do you evolve over time?
Yeah, I would say that I go hard in the beginning until I start seeing results. And then once I start seeing results, then I try to change the keywords on the back end. I think what's really important is for Amazon and to maintain defensibility is having a breadth of different keywords that you're ranking for. If you're shooting for just 1 or 2 really high volume keywords, it's really easy to get drowned out by the competition. There's just so many options. But the more longer tail keywords that you're ranked for, the higher the conversions are going to be. I think actually Nacho Analytics, they just released a fantastic article where they actually tested a lot of these theories, and they found that there was an increase in 15% in conversions with each additional word that's added to the keyword phrase. So that just goes to show that, when people are typing in longer tail keywords, they're way more determined to buy that product because they know exactly what they're looking for. So if you can increase your conversion rates through those longer tail keywords, it'll be way easier for you to rank for the primary keyword because you're not getting drowned out by the competition. Does that make sense?
Totally. And in terms of messaging, once they get into your funnel, you don't have to go into graphic detail, but what kind of levers are you giving the customer to start to build out that pre-list?
Honestly, I think people just love free stuff. And so that's what I'm finding. I mean, it hasn't been that difficult. I think it really depends on your product. Now, we have some products where it's clear, it's obvious that it's a great product. And then we have some other products where, they're basic stuff. They're not stuff the average person would want. And in those situations, you might need to incentivize them with a gift card or something of that sort. Something that's also worked well is actually, creating an ad that actually leads to a landing page where they can learn more about something, or they're sent through a ManyChat funnel where they can learn more about something, and then they read about it, and then it leads them to actually, that funnel of getting rebated through ManyChat.
So without giving your products away, you've got products like you've got the sexy end of the spectrum, but then you've got stuff on Facebook that may not connect straight away. So you have to do a little bit more work in the educational process to get them on board. Exactly.
And something we've been working on is also creating lead magnets. So we've been working on really strong lead magnets, like content pieces that are really attractive to the target audience that we're trying to attract. So what we'll do is we'll create this. It's incredibly sticky. I think one lead magnet, we were able to get like 10 cents an email, 10 cents a subscriber. And that was fantastic because people just started tagging themselves into the comments. And that allowed us to create a huge list. I think that list is like 25,000 people on ManyChat for the specific vertical. So now we're trying to really replicate that for different verticals where it makes sense.
Yeah, totally. And then building out from there, you mentioned about inserts as well. You was talking about how breaking them down by domain. Do you want to go a little bit into that?
Yeah, so I've been selling on Amazon since 2014, and in 2014, we didn't have the tools that we have now. And so what that means is that literally leading up until last year, all of my products had the exact same insert, exact same URL, just because we already had this process going. And one of the immediate, I think, weaknesses that I saw in that was that there's no way to clearly segment what people have bought from you. And I found that to be a challenge. You could have used on pages to do that. It wouldn't have been an exact match or whatever. Either way, we also had this email list of like 20,000 people who had bought our products, and it was meaningless because, a lot of them don't respond. We weren't regular with our emails. And so what we decided to do is we decided to utilize our tool Pixelfy. And so what Pixelfy allows you to do is you can actually do a custom branded domain. So with a shortener, so that means that every single product can have its own unique URL. And what we do is we either send this the unique branded URL so that we know exactly what product they purchased, and then we're sending them to a custom either landing page or straight to a ManyChat funnel. And through that ManyChat funnel knows exactly what they bought, and the post-purchase conversation is just like an email sequence but more interactive. Hey, how did you enjoy your blah 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 blah? Great. Just so we have your information for the lifetime warranty, is this your email? Awesome. So you get them to click a couple times and then say, hey, would you be interested in entering a raffle for, a so-and-so gift card? We do this every month. Yes. And then you start asking them about the product. If they say yes, you can segment them and send them to the Amazon page. So those are the kind of things that you can do because Amazon is just so restrictive now. So it's really important that you have that within your control. And what's even better is that not only are you able to do that because not everyone's going to actually go through the entire funnel, you now have them in a pixel because with each URL you can tag it with a pixel, and now you can create a custom audience for every single product. So not only do I have a custom audience in there, I also have a custom audience within my ManyChat list, and that allows me to do so much more with the tons of customers that I have.
Yeah. So when you're sending these guys off to Amazon, basically you can retarget them for a later date with different follow-up messages and stuff, which is on another side of it as well, is that you think when we're just sending traffic to Amazon, just to remember for rankings, given the storefront URL, that kind of stuff, that's the only bit of information that you've got. And then a lot of those inherently would bounce off of Amazon, but now you get a second bite of the cherry where you're able to retarget. So do you want to talk a little bit more about the retargeting side of things as well?
Yeah, you mean in terms of retargeting them with new products, or you mean retargeting them
Yeah.
with
So
ads too?
yeah, so you obviously with the Pixel, you're able to retarget through that URL that they click. You're able to retarget them again.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So I'm able to retarget them, and what we do is we retarget them for reviews. Another thing is just if you have a popular item, now you have something more useful than an email list, in my opinion. I mean, I just think people don't respond to email anymore. That's our experience.
Mm.
And now you can actually target people who bought this type of product. You can categorize them within a specific vertical and
Yeah.
now say, okay, well, I have a fresh launch list of people who bought from me, who've actually left positive reviews
Yeah.
and are interactive with the ads or the marketing interests that I have. So
And for
now,
you go into a niche, don't you? And you go deep, like you go and eat
exactly.
up and to the point sometimes cannibalize yourself in that niche to take up the
Exactly.
full spectrum. So for you, that's a good strategy, isn't it? So
Exactly. Exactly. And you get scale with that. You know,
yeah.
once you launch more, you get more new product, more new people purchasing your product, and then you can just take that flow and bring it over to any new product that you launch within that vertical.
Cool. So talk to me about this whole cycle now. You know, you're very aggressive with launching products. Like we said, is that you'll go into a niche and then you basically eat your own lunch whilst you're there, don't you? Because you want to take over and control it. So the retargeting thing is a real big proponent there because that's going to help with constantly cross-selling the products all the time that are related to each other, utilizing the same list. So what's talk me through a launch now. We talked about the marketing side. Let's talk about getting a product ready, logistics, that kind of thing. What are some of the key components you're doing?
Yeah. So you mean actually like launching a product, like what I'm doing step by
We've
step?
gone through the marketing end of it,
Yep.
but yeah, getting the product, optimizing the listing, all the timings and stuff, and now you're piecing it together. Have you must have this down to a fine art now because the amount of
Right.
products that you've launched. I mean,
Right. Right. Right.
where are you
Yeah.
cutting down on, not cutting corners, but cutting timelines down and stuff, you know?
Totally. So I'm going to speak on it broadly because I don't do the day to day as much anymore. Thank God I have someone doing that.
Yeah.
But a lot of it has to do with, you know, we have this list. So what we do is we prep people for the product that's coming down the line. So as we're building this listing, you know, we kind of get people pre-committed to the product, leading them up to, you know, getting excited to wanting to purchase it. And then we set it so that we have a couple days, like let's say 14 days of people who are committed. And we set them to say, okay, now you're ready, purchase that product. Boom, they buy it, and so on and so on and so on. It keeps going. And so the beauty of having that pre-launch purchase is that now I have them for a follow-up 14 days later when they receive the product to actually follow up for a review. So I'll start getting reviews through the pre-launch process. And that's something I'm doing. We also add rebate key to pepper things in. If we know we're not getting the purchases or conversions that we're looking for from our list, which sometimes happens, then we'll go ahead and pepper it in with rebate key. And our goal is to kind of slowly increase our amount of conversions leading up through that 14-day window because obviously the honeymoon period, and we also want to maximize the way Amazon sees our product. And what we'll do is once we start seeing our product pick up on certain keywords, then we'll go ahead and double down on those keywords and continue to expand and add more rebate key campaigns or our pre-launch process with our list. So that's kind of what we're doing, and then we'll see if that product takes. And really, I mean, I've kind of told you my philosophy, Danny. Like, you know, we really do everything we can to maximize the exposure of the listing. That's really important to us. And so, but we also understand that if we maximize the exposure, we do everything we can, we need to accept and look at the signals that tell us that this product isn't working. And so I would say within, you know, 2 to 3 months, that's when we make that determination. And so we'll have, you know, 2 weeks in, we'll start doing heavy PPC because the organic rank has proven that PPC will come in. We'll start increasing our sessions. And then the conversion rates and ultimately the PPC A costs over a period of 2 months will let us know whether that product is a winner or a loser. And that's kind of the way we kind of look at things.
Yeah. So, I mean, what's your hit ratio, would you say, at the moment, even though you got it down to a fine art, and don't be embarrassed by it, you know,
Yeah.
because there is, you know, there's so many moving parts. I mean, for you, are you getting, you know, you dump in 2 in 10 or something like that are not working, or?
Yeah, I would say probably our hit rate is around 55 to 60% right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
some
solid.
people might see that as a failure, but for some of your size, that's nearly half of your products are not
Right.
going to hit the mark. But then
Right.
it's how you wash them down the drain and move on to the next one. And
Exactly.
profit.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, we actually did the calculation, and what we found is that we actually don't really lose money, right?
Yeah.
So, we lose maybe like $1,000 or $2,000 a launch. And so that really is nothing in the grand scheme of things. I would gladly pay $2,000 to just go to a conference and learn something.
Yeah.
So if I can learn that this product didn't work, totally worth the amount of money that we paid to find another product that ends up working, which has way more long-term value.
Yeah.
So, for us, we really look at that. And then what happens is, if you're looking at the success rate for the products that we launch based off of existing products, that success rate is pretty much like 9 out of 10. It's just very, very successful because it's already been proven by tests that we've done. Yeah. So, we just see it as a sunk cost or cost of doing business. And, if you're able to do that and you're able to minimize your risk, and we also have, great liquidation strategy, you're really minimizing your downside, and it allows you to take bigger bets.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, I think a lot of people they get hung up about a failed product. They feel like they're a failure because maybe they have a smaller SKU set, but they shouldn't. The fact is, it's just, you've got to get them there. It's part art, part science, and there's a little bit of luck in there as well. And it's just, you just got to know when it's time to park, don't you? You just have to give up on the ghost. And I think people get afraid of that, and you shouldn't. And what I like about it is you've demonstrated as a successful business doing 8 figures, 30 million plus a year, that you're happy to share that nearly half your products won't hit the grade, but that don't matter because all the other products will take care of those. And like you said, you're minimizing the downside. So I think that's
exactly. Yeah, I think, a lot of sellers listening should just start thinking about their business as kind of like a financial portfolio. Yeah. I mean, really just look at it like that and try to not be invested in the product. And I know it's hard to, because a lot of people get so passionate about the product. They're super excited about it, but just, let the reality sink in and just be a really prudent investor. And I think that's kind of the way we look at our products. It's an investment portfolio. And if you can look at it that way, you pull emotion out of it and you can make better decisions.
Well, as you're saying that, it's looking at a portfolio. Talk to me about where you look on in terms of return on investment and when you light it back. What are your gears? What are your ratios there?
Yeah, so what we like to look at is we like to make sure that we're making at minimum a 30% net gross margin or net contribution margin. So that's after Amazon's fees, after our COGS, obviously, and after our ads. Yep. We don't like to spend more than 8% of revenue on ad spend. And what we do is we actually factor in an additional 10% when we're actually doing our product development analysis for ads. We'll say, okay, well, let's take off 10% off the top. And are we still netting 30%? So that's what we look at. We also want to look at a minimum of 100% ROI. Usually our products average around 150% plus. But the reason why we want that is because we have the expectation and understanding that more entrants are going to come into the market. So the fatter our margins are, the more protection we have. Yeah. And more protection means we have more time to merchandise and work faster to have more variations than the competition. Yeah. So that's really what we're looking for. We're looking to buy time with the amount of margin and the profit that we have.
Yeah, makes total sense. Cool. Before we wrap, do you want to have a little quick chat about the software? So where can people obviously reach you, of course, and get access to the software?
Yeah. So people can reach me at nick@sellertradecraft.com. We have a Facebook group at SellerTradeCraft. And yeah, in terms of the software, we're really excited about it. It's called Pixelfy.me. And it's a fantastic tool. Really our goal with it is we want to help Amazon sellers build their audiences off of Amazon. As you know, Amazon is removing the ability for you to get access to names. It's going to be more and more difficult to do any kind of appends. And Amazon, we just got access to their attribution pixel. And that means that Amazon really wants people like us to pay to send traffic to Amazon. So to us, we feel that if we're going to be doing this, we also need to have the ability to control the experience of controlling the audiences that we send there. So Pixelfy is a fantastic tool that not only has the most advanced super URLs, but you can also rotate and target multiple keywords, change out links, and you can also add pixels. And we're adding more and more features that people are going to find really useful. So I'm really excited about that tool.
Cool. That's good. Guys, we're going to wrap it there. Nick, thank you for joining us. If this is your first time, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys again in the next few days. Take care.